this year, trying to seal the gaps that have been there and to getting this country back, despite the challenges that are there worldwide. We know we have problems with Ukraine and Russia, Israel and now Palestine, but we are also hoping that the rains that have come are also not going to put us into more problems. But I am looking forward for a good statement from the head of state.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We wish you a good listen. We'll reconnect after the State of the Nation.
For sure.
Probably get to take stock of what the president has said. So that largely will be the center of the focus as you've conducted. Be top of the agenda of what the president is expected to speak about this afternoon. But of course, in the midst of the ongoing rains, the El Nino rains, there's a general expectation that the president will come up with solutions, and particularly activate the disaster response plan for Northeastern Province, or the former Northeastern Province, because Wajir, Garissa and Mandera. Some of those places have absolutely been marooned by the ongoing floods. But of course, now it's a matter of minutes. We await the arrival of the president. For now, back to you, studio.
Where he announced the vision of various rates of government services, where if you have lost...
Very well, the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has just arrived at Parliament buildings. Remember, it's a bicameral parliament, meaning that both the MPs and the senators are already inside the building. And any moment now, we expect the head of state to be making his way to Parliament. But before he enters Parliament, as you can see there, the Kenya Defence Forces have mounted a guard of honor, which they expect the head of state will be inspecting before he makes his way inside of Parliament. And as all Kenyans, including me, are waiting and eagerly waiting for his speech, we are expecting that the head of state will touch on the scorecard of the Kenya Kwanza government in the last 1 year. A number of things that we also expecting the head of state to be touching on is the foreign policy. We have seen him in a number of trips. We have seen a number of MPs, a number of prime ministers, a number of envoys come to the country to ensure that. But first things first, let's first of all cross over to Parliament. We are expecting also, we will be reaching out to our editor Edward Kabasa, who is also at Parliament building together with the Bunge team, and also Abdi Aziz are also keeping tabs with what is transpiring there. But I can tell you that the MPs and the senators are already seated. Maybe the last ones are already making their way to the National Assembly, where we expect the head of state is going to be making his State of the Nation address, his inaugural. And you do remember that a couple of years back, when we had already promulgated our constitution in 2010 and started actually using it, President Mwai Kibaki had a scorecard which majorly touched on matters devolution, because we were just setting up counties. When President Uhuru came in, he was the first person actually to start the counties in 2013, which was also a milestone. Now we are with the President William Ruto, who will be expecting to make his State of the Nation address amid a myriad of challenges in the country, including the implementation of the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, the cost of living, the floods that are currently ravaging many parts of the country, and also we expect a number of clarifications in regards to a number of issues of who we expect the head of state will also be making. Let me now hand over to my colleague Edward Kabasa, live in Parliament.
They out four. Teke hakuwa anaona kitu. Out four haraka.
address a joint sitting of Parliament. This comprises the members of the National Assembly and the members of the Senate. This is going to be the second address by the head of state, President William Ruto. The first time he addressed this house was on 29th of September 2022, when he was opening officially the 13th Parliament. This special broadcast is brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in conjunction with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. My name is Edward Kabasa. I invite you to this live broadcast, which is also available on YouTube, courtesy of the Parliament of Kenya YouTube channel. That means you can watch this address on the go this afternoon, the 9th of November 2023. The State of the Nation address is delivered in accordance with Article 132, Sub-Article 1 of the Constitution, which provides for the President to address a special sitting of Parliament once every year and may address Parliament at any other time. Once every year, the President is also expected to report in an address to the nation on all the measures taken and the progress achieved in the realization of the national values referred to in Article 10, and to publish in the Gazette the details of the measures and progress under sub-paragraph. The head of state is further expected to submit a report for debate to the National Assembly on the progress made in fulfilling the international obligations of the Republic. Addressed this Honorable House was on 29th of September 2022, and in that address he promised to implement the bottom-up economic agenda to create jobs and empower small businesses. The President also pledged to achieve the universal health coverage. In that address, the President also pledged to connect all Kenyans to the internet by 2030. These were promises that the head of state were making to the country, and